Hello, I am Dudu, a 32-year-old middle school PE teacher. Today is my day off. I went back to my mom's house to help out and found the place piled high with empty drink bottles and old cardboard boxes. She runs a Chongqing noodles restaurant to make a living, but there are fewer and fewer customers these days. The number of workers working nearby has dropped a lot, so business has slowed down greatly. She spends all her time making noodles and never gets a chance to clear the clutter. Usually waste collectors come to our door to pick up recyclables, but I called the two regular collectors today and both said they were too busy to come. Even though we've got a huge pile of waste, my husband and I decided to load everything into our small electric scooter and drive it to the recycling station ourselves. My husband and I started carrying drink bottles and cardboard boxes down from the second floor to the open space at the gate for easy sorting and packing, but we soon realized there was way too much recyclable waste to fit in our small scooter. So my husband decided to borrow a tricycle from an elderly grandma living nearby in the village. We rode our two-wheeler over to her house and got the three-wheeled electric bike. While my husband sorted the recyclables, my aunt happened to see us busy with work. Worried that my little boy would run around and misbehave here, she hopped on her electric bike and took him to the children's playground. Now my husband and I could keep working without any distractions. I joked with my mom that I'd sell all of these. She was overjoyed because now I could free up space and make the house tidier for her. Since his business failed, I've barely seen him truly relaxed from the bottom of his heart. My husband's name is Yang. Last year, he heard cross-border e-commerce could bring in good money. Hoping to lift our family income, he went to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, to sell hats. But the goods shipped from China barely sold. He got scammed over there and lost more than 500,000 RMB. That pushed our already tight finances straight into a crisis, and he's been drowning in guilt ever since. That's why he's always downcast these days. I understand him fully. I truly believe that as long as we keep working hard, we'll pay off all our debts eventually. Life is still full of hope. I always try my best to cheer him up. To me, he's an incredibly responsible man, and I know our life will get better and better. Both my husband and I grew up in rural villages with extremely tough living conditions. Back in junior high, over 30 of us shared one tiny dorm room. When it snowed, wind whistled through broken window frames. Basins of water left on the floor would freeze solid into thick blocks of ice. There was almost no heating, so our hands and feet were covered in chilblains, even warping our finger joints from the bitter cold. When Yang was only 15, his father suffered a terrible car crash. He stayed in a coma for a whole week and couldn't take care of himself for half a year after discharge. Yang was the one who looked after him through it all. Right after Young graduated from college, his dad suddenly passed away from a heart attack. Every single family burden fell onto this thin, young man's shoulders. After a 10-minute ride, we finally arrived at the recycling station. There were other people waiting to sell waste, so we had to queue up. We asked the boss about the pricing for different recyclables, how much per kilo for plastic water bottles, and how cardboard was calculated. The station owner turned out to be really kind. His wife asked what sorts of recyclables we had loaded on the tricycle. My husband drove the tricycle full of waste over to the weighing platform and waited in line to settle the payment. He and the boss's wife unloaded everything off the bike. There were countless plastic bottles stuffed into several huge sacks. The weather was sweltering hot. The boss worked shirtless, looking simple and honest. He got ready to weigh our items and tally up the total money while I filmed beside him. He looked a little shy, in a sweet, endearing way. My husband spotted some scrap iron pipes mixed in the waste and lit up like he'd found treasure. He thought he could repurpose the pipes to make all kinds of furniture. The boss's wife started hauling stacks of old cardboard off the tricycle. Staring at all that cardboard, my husband and I felt overjoyed, knowing it would fetch a decent sum. Thank goodness. All these recyclables added up to 52 yuan in total. If we'd waited for the door-to-door collector, we'd only get around 20 yuan. Bringing it to the station ourselves earned us an extra 30 odd yuan difference. This money is enough for a nice meal together, We've decided we'll always haul our waste here from now on. Once we left the recycling station, I handed the cash to my husband. He quickly stuffed it into his trouser pocket, and a long-lost smile spread across his face. At that moment, we were both utterly happy. We rode our little blue tricycle along the road, lined with golden wheat fields on both sides. After a full year of toiling, the farmers were finally entering harvest season. A strange sense of peace settled over me. Maybe it's the sense of accomplishment that comes from earning money through our own hard work. The elderly grandma we borrowed the tricycle from has farmed her whole life and is endlessly hardworking. She heads out to the farm before dawn every single day. We call her husband Grandpa. He's advanced in years. Last winter, he slipped and fell in the snow, leaving him paralyzed and confined to the house. Now the family relies entirely on Grandma's farm work, plus small rural government subsidies to get by. Grandma told us to wait by the gate while she went inside and brought out an enormous watermelon. She said it was far too hot and we should take it home for the whole family to share. A farming friend had given her 2 melons, and she and Grandpa couldn't finish both alone. Back home, I sliced it open with a knife. This watermelon had no hard black seeds, and its flesh was bright red and incredibly sweet. It was easily the best melon I'd ever tasted. My husband split it cleanly into 2 halves. The fruit was unbelievably sweet, just like our life is slowly turning out to be. This has been Dou-Dou's Day. If you ever get the chance to visit my city, I'll treat you to authentic Chongqing noodles. See you next time.